What do all these people have in common? Right, other than the fact they're saved to this completely unsuspicious file on my computer.
They've all got massive arms, the most impressive muscle any gym bro can have. Just look how big and veiny it is.
Why are you at that angle? Editor, what are you doing, you horrible, abominable man?
Mate, you literally edit your own videos. You can see the thesaurus in the background where you've tried to look up a different word for horrible and you've still said it wrong. So how is it that I got such big... Oh my god. Okay, you guys are gonna have to give me a second.
How is it that you actually grow massive arms, you ask? Well, look no more. As you can see, there are 4 main components. Oh dear lord. As you can tell, I was in the special class in school. 4 components go into growing arms. Now, most people will do 1 or 2 or even 3. But in order to get massive arms, you need to be doing all 4 key components. But don't panic, good news. That's why I'm here. But before we dive into that, why am I making this video about arms and not about all the other muscles? There is exactly 639 muscles in the human body. 640 when I'm watching The Rock in Baywatch. Wow, just look at all those. What the hell? That was not supposed to make the video. That was for Steve and Steve only.
Well, not is it quite literally the only thing I've got going for me.
It's also the first muscle anyone notices when you meet them.
Nice arms, dude. Thanks, man. But you don't just have to take my word for it. Just have a look at this.
Find out what their favorite muscle is on a guy.
See, videos like these are now all over TikTok. I guess muscles really do get girls. But then again, there are videos like this on TikTok.
I make more money than you!
So I think we need to take it with a little pinch of salt. There is only one real way to see if all this bicep propaganda is really true. I have to go ask one of my many women that I know.
Mum, don't all the girls love my big arms?
When we've gone over this, your arms aren't the issue. You can't even look one in the eye without crying.
But that wasn't in the script. Well, I guess she didn't say no. But despite them being the most important muscle, I always see people training them wrong. Like, what the flip is that guy even doing? What a loser.
Well, great news. The answer is actually way simpler than you'd think. You don't need an arm day where you're doing 85 different variations of bicep curls and a 4-part drop set to near death.
Yeah, buddy!
In fact, all I do is train my arms twice a week.
Well, great news. I am now going to take you through every single thing I've done to grow my arms in the last 4 years. Starting off with the first area, the exercises that I do.
But before you can get stupidly large arms, first of all, you need to understand the anatomy of the arm, and you know what that means.
Your favorite PE teacher is back. Wait, if I'm a PE teacher, where's the netball class? Sorry about that. I've been informed since that being a creep is not part of the job description. Well, it's a good thing I'm the headmaster then. The arm is made up of 4 key parts, the long and short head of the tricep, and the bicep brachialis and the bicep brachii. But don't worry, I am very aware that teaching this class is like teaching the special needs class. Bicep, tricep, big. I show you how. Capiche? Now, something that a lot of people don't know is that the tricep actually makes up 2/3 of your arm, but don't worry, this does not mean you have to train it 2 times as hard. Now, for some reason, in the pre-game lobby, I decided to put 6 inches of scale points to the girth of my tricep, and I can only help but speculate where those inches came from. But great news, I'm here to stop you from wasting hundreds of hours and sessions in just doing stupid exercises that will make you no gains, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to get a pair of these. In fact, every single day you're performing arm exercises without realizing it. Just look at the pump I'm getting right now. From playing Bop It, playing the drums, playing darts,
To playing with your... Whose camera is this? What? I really need to start getting an editor to edit these videos. This is getting out of hand now.
Now, the first exercise that we're going to be starting off with is hammer curls, right? This is perfect for hitting the brachialis, which is basically this part of the bicep. So when you're stood front on like we are right now, just one-to-one staring each other in the eye, your arm looks more wide. It gives you that more like dense look. So then when you're in t-shirts, which I know all of you, that's what you want. You want to look big in t-shirts. It's also very good for hitting the forearm, like that part of the forearm there. So then when you're stood in shirts, little oversized shirt, because I know all of you are probably like mysterious guys, like walking around thinking, no one knows I go gym right now. No one knows I could just take him in a scrap in 0.3 seconds. But once we've gone through both the bicep and tricep exercises, I'm going to include a forearm exercise because I don't do it personally, but I know a lot of you really like big forearms, so I'll include it in the end. I'm a man of the people. So all you do is you get a dumbbell, you hold them perpendicularly, right? I'm going to go to the side so you can actually see what's going on here. You pin your elbows to your side, right? I don't want to see your elbows coming in front while you're doing a bicep because that just takes all the tension off the bicep. And all you're going to do is curl up
and stop around this like sort of 90-degree area, a bit above 90 degrees, I'd say like 95, because once you get up here, you're basically taking all the tension off the actual brachialis and the bicep, and you're kind of just holding it like with gravity kind of against you. At this point, you can start backing out for shoulder presses on the spot. And you wanna know what the best part about hammer curls is? It makes your arms look huge. Like, look at the size of that, mate. I can't see it right now because I'm a little pixel on my... Like, if I got a pound for every time I caught a woman staring at me while I was doing my hammer curls, psh, I'd still be stood here because that has never happened in my life. I'd either be stood here or I'd be in a skits asylum because I've started seeing things again. I don't want to see your elbows flaring out like that. Keep them pinned all the way in. All of these exercises you're going to be doing to failure, okay? A lot of people will say that, oh, you can train to one RIR, it's more optimal. It's not, okay? Every bodybuilder that has done anything in the sport trains to failure. You're going to be going to failure. If this is something you can't do, just learn. It's a skill at the end of the day. A lot of people think you're just born with it. You're born to train to failure, or you're not. When I first started working out, I'd be like, oh, this hurts, it hurts. Well, guess what, young buck Ben? I trained on this exact spot saying this. Now look at me. I used to say, oh, RIR is better, RIR is better. This is what I looked like when I was saying this, okay? Now look at me standing here, nice and proud, with my arms out. So if you want to listen to him, feel free. But if you want to actually get big arms, train all of the exercises I'm about to tell you to complete failure. And once we've gone through the exercises, I'm going to take you through the volume and the frequency of how often and how much you basically need to do this to actually grow your arms and not do junk volume, because so many of you are doing junk volume. What the hell, he spawned a bench in? Well, don't worry, it was intentional. It is now time for the second exercise. Now, I barely see anyone doing this. Like, literally, I think I'm the only brother I've ever seen in the gym doing this, and it is so good for growing the peak of your bicep, right? So now once we've done this and the hammer curls, you are literally hitting every single possible bit of the bicep, and before you know it, you're gonna have little golf balls like this. And maybe, if you're lucky, by copying my bicep exercises, you also won't be able to talk to a woman for more than 5 seconds without crying. And when it's your first time doing this, right, please get a lightweight, because I know what you're thinking, Ben, I've seen one too many brothers on TikTok pulling their bicep doing this.
Lightweight!
There are higher chances of me talking to a woman and getting her phone number than you pulling your bicep doing this, if you follow correctly how I'm about to show you, okay? Now, first of all, you are gonna have to get a bit of an arch on, okay? I'm sorry, I don't wanna have to make you look zesty in the gym, but it is the only way. And you're gonna get your arm into the middle of the pad. The key with this is you wanna keep your arm in a straight line with your shoulder. So as you can see, well, as I hope you can see, because normally I have a mirror when I do this, so I can actually like watch myself do it. You want to keep it straight. If it's not straight, I apologize, okay? It's not the only thing that's not straight in this video, I'll tell you that for free. I've been making one too many jokes about The Rock. It's getting a bit suspicious at this point. You want to get down low so the bench comes between the crack between like your armpit and your arm, and you're literally just going to curl up, pause. Don't go too far again because it just takes the tension completely off the bicep. You want to be pausing around there. Just find out what works for you, honestly. Just curl and see where the tension ends. For me, it's there, right? So I'm going to stop the rep there a little bit before, because once you've gone past it, you're just ruining the movement and it just takes all tension off the bicep. And you're going to slowly go down all the way until the bottom, until the dumbbell is literally about to hit the bench, but do not let it hit the bench because again, it takes the tension off the bicep, and you're gonna come back up and repeat. Now, with both of these exercises and with every exercise I'm gonna show you, you need to be controlling the weight, right? I am the biggest advocate in the world of controlling the weight. A general rule of thumb that I'm gonna give you, right, is 2-second eccentric, so on the way down, say we're doing hammer curls, right? 2 seconds on the way down, slow, 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 pause for a second, all the way up, pause for a second, 2 seconds down. At the end of the day, I'm built for going to the gym, not explaining, so I'm really up to channel my inner Dr. Mike Israel right now. Because normally I'm sitting in the gym tweaking out doing it by myself. This is taking a whole nother dimension to this game. Now, I do like to think there is no need for me to explain this, but I do have a sneaky suspicion that there may be a few crayon biters in the crowd. So obviously, you're gonna do it with your other arm as well, okay? You're not gonna just do it with one like I showed you. You're gonna alternate arms, okay? You do not wanna end up just getting some sort of asymmetrical build, having to lurk around town just like this. I do not wanna see any of you on my For You page begging for a refund after walking around like this after a year of following my arm workouts, okay? And that is biceps done. Literally as simple as that. Now you've got 20-inch arms. If only it was that simple, my brother. This is 4 years of pure graft. No social life, no friends, no love life, nothing else going for me. It looks pretty cool though, right? Like, I think that might have been worth it. So now we're moving on to triceps. We're gonna start off with skull crushers, right? This is the most slept on exercise. You always see people doing overhead cable extensions with terrible form with their elbows out, and it just isn't efficient at all. Whereas with these, it's super easy to keep your form good, and it targets the long head of the tricep perfectly. And if you're thinking, why would I listen to this, brother? My boy, I've got the biggest triceps on the net. Look at that, 19 years old, he's got that lurking about. If you're not listening now, if you're not subscribing now, I don't know what's going on. On the topic of subscribing, actually, apparently 70% of you brothers watching these videos aren't subscribed. So what's that about? Let's get that at least down to 69%. Come on, that takes like 3 of you. Come on, Bill. Come on, John, get in there, go hit that button. Now again, you're gonna start off super light when you first do this, okay? Because you don't wanna do your elbow in. You're gonna start off literally with like the 5 kilos, okay? I've been doing this exercise before, I kid you not, with 7.5 kilos. A 70-year-old Asian grandma came up to me and asked me to work in. I'm not kidding. This is a real life experience that I had to do, and the gym was packed as well. It was the most humiliating experience, working in with a legitimate 70-year-old unk. Well, auntie, 70-year-old auntie, I don't know the terminology. I'm trying to stay woke, I'm not trying to get cancelled yet. You just wait till I see what I'm cooking up. I'm gonna pull up a Kanye West like there is no tomorrow. So you're gonna get a flat bench, right? You're gonna go back and you're literally just gonna move your arms up, right? Like you've done a bench press all the way up. You're gonna go back a tiny bit, literally like 10 degrees, keeping your elbows still. You're gonna come all the way down, pause where it gets to your head. Again, don't rest it on your head because you could just, I could sit like this all day, okay? So we don't wanna be cheating the reps, okay? Don't keep them on your head. Pausing there, going back up. I'll give you another angle of what this looks like, but it is the GOAT and it literally made my triceps. I've done this for a year and my triceps have literally doubled. I'll put a representation on the screen now. They have got so much bigger. Oh mate, it's honestly like a sauna in here. This could be a sunbed. I could literally be cooking alive right now. I could be Ben FJ Lift showing you how to train triceps, or I could be a rotisserie chicken in Greg's. It could be either or. We really are working all the angles today. You're literally gonna know me better than my own family does, but as you can see, you're going down, right, as deep as you can without your elbow feeling a bit weird, because you get a certain depth and it does feel like your elbow is just about to pop out. You're about to be like 8 weeks out of action just because of a tricep push down. Again, I do not take reliability for any injuries incurred doing these exercises, okay? Flippin' heck, who is this guy? See, this is why I make this video, this is what I'm here for. Now there is only one more exercise that you need to grow massive triceps, right? And it's gonna be a bit of a basic one, but that's just because it is such a staple in growing your triceps. It's the tricep push down. Now I don't have a cable in the home gym and I can't go to the real gym, but I don't really wanna go to my proper gym and just record a full-on video of me showing you 2 tricep extensions while arching my back because I just don't have the XP to do that yet. I do think they'll just kill me. They're all about 3 times bigger than me, okay? Actually, I've got a good little solution. I've got a video of me doing it here, right? So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna keep your elbows pinned in, like I'm doing in the video, and you're literally just gonna push back again, arch, get 2 cables. What this does when you have 2 cables is it means that instead of stopping, right? Say I was to do it with a normal sized cable, the maximum range of motion I can get is there. But with 2 cables, you can go all the way back and get proper stretch, and this really targets the short head of the tricep. And it's also what I attribute to my triceps growing so much in the last year. And you're just gonna keep your elbows pinned the whole time. Now in this video, I don't think I keep them properly pinned, but it was just because it was a new machine, I wasn't used to it. You literally wanna keep your elbows completely still, just rotating at the elbow, going all the way down, all the way up, pausing in the top, and all the way back down. And for anyone that does want big forearms, I don't personally train my forearms, but I understand that a lot of people do want big forearms. This exercise is the GOAT, right? You're either gonna do it with a cable, with a flat bar, and you're gonna put it to the bottom and go up, or you can do it with dumbbells. I like doing it single-handed when I do it, just because I can feel it a lot more, whereas when you're doing 2, you find yourself kind of like hip thrusting it up, and at that point, what's the point? So you're gonna grab a dumbbell, hold it horizontally, not perpendicularly, horizontally, and you're literally just gonna go up in line with your forearms. Flipping heck, look at all those veins. God, maybe I really do need to start training forearms. This is a good little feeling. There is no better pump than a good forearm pump. A good forearm pump, you literally feel like you're bursting out your skin, but that is literally all you need to grow your forearms. Again, hammer curls that we showed at the start are gonna do your forearms, but if you really do wanna lock in your forearms and you're a bit self-conscious about them, then just do that, 3 sets of that, and you'll be good to go. But there is a lot more that goes into it, such as the volume, the frequency which you train them, and your nutrition, which we're gonna go into now. And these 4 exercises are literally all you need to build a massive arm.
You didn't believe me when I said I was boiling alive in there. Even my camera can't hack the heat. That's the level of graft going into this. Look at that sweat beading down. This is the sad state of affairs you've left me in. I'm to blow up my camera. I've had it for a day. If this thing explodes and it semtexes me, DJI, I'm not gonna be happy, okay? You will be hearing from my lawyer. I couldn't afford a lawyer even if I tried. I know what I'm saying. I could afford like 2 minutes with the brother and then he'd say get out.
So now that we've gone through all the exercises that I do, you're wondering, wow, Ben, don't betray me in front of the camera. You're probably wondering what the other 3 are. Well, don't worry, I'm not gonna blue balls you any longer, right? The second component that goes into growing massive arms is the volume at which you train them each session. Now I know what you're thinking, Ben, you're gonna edit it so it like unlocks each time you say a new thing. No, we haven't got that level of production quality, okay? I tried, I looked it up, I looked up tutorials, couldn't figure it out how, and my pen has run out of ink, so we're gonna have to deal with this, okay? So volume basically means how much you train each muscle within a certain session. So let's say it's a pull day, right? You're doing push-pull legs. The volume would be how many sets of biceps you do per thing. So we're starting off with biceps, right? I'm gonna be under the assumption that you're doing a push-pull leg split just because it's the most common split. So if you remember, we got hammer curls and the single arm incline preacher curls. So you're gonna do all of your back movements, right? And then you're gonna do your bicep exercises because your biceps get used a bit during back and you don't want to fatigue your biceps out before you do back. It's a long story. So you're gonna do the single arm preacher curls first, right? You're gonna do 3 sets. The first 2 sets are gonna be 6 to 10 reps, all to failure, okay? And then the last set is gonna be 10 to 15 reps. So in total for that session, that is 6 sets of volume that you're gonna be doing to get the peak of the bicep because that is what that exercise targets most. Now, if if you don't want to do this much volume, because I understand that some of us have got more time than others. For example, me, I have all the time in the world. I got no girlfriend and I got no job. So I'm just sat here tweaking out if I'm not in the gym. And then once you finish those sets, rest for like 3-4 minutes just so your arms aren't fatigued anymore. And you go to hammer curls, okay? And you're going to do 3 sets of these, but all to 10 to 15, and making sure you control it and go into failure. And what this is going to do is it's going to completely fry your biceps. So then once you've done your back, you can then go into your biceps, fully concentrate on it. What I will say is if your back is a really big strong point in your physique and your biceps suck and you really want to focus on your biceps more, I'd shift the biceps to the start of the workout and then do back. But if you use straps, right, for all your back movements, you want to be using straps. If you don't know what straps are, you basically wrap them around your wrist and then wrap them around the bar, so then you're not using your grip strength while training back. Because when you're training back, you do not want to be using your grip strength. People want to try and tell you like, oh, it's good for your grip, it's good for your grip, it'll grow your forearms. If you want to grow your forearms, train forearms. I've already shown you an exercise you can do. But by using straps, it means that you're not fatiguing your biceps if you're training them after. And it means that if you are training your biceps first and you decide that they're more of a focus than your back exercises won't already be impacted by the fact that your biceps are tired, so you can properly train your back and biceps. So in total for that pull day, that is 6 sets of bicep, which is more than enough. Okay, a lot of people will try and tell you to do like 4 different exercises, and they'll just tell you to do like, for example, they'll tell you to do incline bicep curls and then single arm preacher curls. It's the exact same thing, just reskinned. It's quite literally the same exercise, and people always fall for this. They'll see someone on TikTok with massive arms just like this, and they'll just listen to every word they say like it's the Bible, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to shoot myself in the leg here because I'm making this video because I have big arms, but I haven't got big arms because of my genetics. Obviously, my genetics are good, but it's also because I train my arms properly. So many people on TikTok will tell you to do an arm day, do 8 sets. It's all junk volume. You're just wasting your time, over fatiguing the muscle. Now we're moving on to the triceps. So this would be on your push day if you're doing push-pull legs. So push, triceps, pull, biceps, legs. Just don't go to the gym, just stay at home and pray that no one comes to collect you. You're gonna do 3 sets total of the tricep push downs that I was showing you, but the last set, okay, you're gonna go to complete failure, and then you're gonna do a drop set by 25%. So you're gonna do the set, wait about 10 to 15 seconds, which a lot of people don't do, by the way. A lot of people just do their drop sets straight away. You don't have to do this. You can rest for like 10, 15 seconds. It'll mean you get like 1 to 2 more reps, which at the end of the day is just more muscle growth for literally nothing. And you're gonna move the weight down 20%. So if you're doing 20 kilos, 20% of that would be, I don't know, okay, do I look like a professor? No, I'm posting gymtips, so you figure out yourself, okay? Get the calculator open, I don't have mine on me. So the first 2 sets of these push downs are gonna be 8 to 12 reps, okay? Because this is a perfect weight, because it's not too heavy to the point where you won't actually be able to get the full stretch, but it's also not too light to the point where you just sat there for like 20 reps just trying to get to the end of the set, just thinking, what is this? What is this form of cardio that Ben FJ Lift has got me doing? So in total for the push downs, that is 3 sets, but basically 4 because of the drop set. It is so hot in here, by the way. I don't know if you could see me sweating. I'm sweating buckets trying to make this video for you. I can't put a fan on because it'll sound like I'm in just some sort of wind turbine, so thank me later on. You can see the sun shining in. What is going on with the UK weather at the moment, okay? Any brothers can relate in the chat? Go into the comments and let me know how hot it is. Or just let me know how hot I am, okay? I'll take either or. And then finally for the triceps, we've got the tricep overhead extension, which you're gonna do with dumbbells. You're gonna do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, okay? Now, if you want, you can do 10 to 20 reps, because with this, it's really easy to go way too heavy, have really bad form, and kind of just injure your elbows. So what I did used to do was I do 10 to 20 reps, and what this means is you're on one weight for a lot longer, right? So you'll be doing, let's say, 7.5 kilos for like a couple months, because you start on 10 reps, you got to get to 20 reps. That's a lot of progressive overload. But if you do like lifting a bit more weight and you don't want to have a situation like me where you've got some sort of Asian grandma asking to work in with you, you can do 10 to 15 reps. It's all a bit of personal preference, but just do 3 sets to failure, and that will fry our triceps. But make sure with triceps you're doing it at the end of your session, okay? Especially if it's a push day, because you use your triceps in a lot of pushing movements. For example, chest press, you're using your triceps. It impacts your pushing movements so much, so you do not want to be frying your triceps out before your pushing movements. Your pushing movements should always come first because they're the most physically demanding. Flippin' heck, who is this guy? In case you forgot I was still big and you're wondering why I'm still listening to this guy. Look at him go.
Oh, I'm actually glad I saw this after I stood on the thing. Now I know he felt an interstellar.
Back to the greatest drawing board of all time that's totally not falling apart on me 1 second at a time. 1, 2, done. Volume and the exercise that you need to do. So that leaves 2 more. Now the last one is a serious mystery, right? But it is so important. Now the third thing you're going to want to be doing is the volume. Now this arrow is really going to give me a paper cut in my age. Now it's fallen off the board, but the third thing you want to be doing is the frequency at which you train them. This basically means how often you train them. So say you did like push pull, push pull, push pull. The frequency which you'd be training push and pull is 3 times a week, right? Now, most of you, I'm assuming, are on push pull leg splits. I will say a split that I really like and I follow for the last year, and I do attribute to a lot of my growth, is push pull legs, rest, upper, lower, rest, and then you can just put arms on upper. Now this does mean that your leg day is way more frequent, and now with my new split, my leg day is every 7 days, so I only have to do 1 a week. It's honestly great because you know my legs are way too big. I would actually recommend that you do switch to the split because it's a 5-day split, right? Which basically means you're going to be training everything much more often. So say every year you do push, pull, legs, rest, push, pull, legs, rest. By the end of the year, if you're doing my split that I've just said, you would have trained everything probably like 1.5 times more. You're just gonna whack arms at the end of the upper day and you're literally gonna be training them so much more frequently. Now when it comes to frequency, a lot of people will tell you to do an arm day, but you just don't have to do it. It's a waste of a day. It means that you're wasting time that you could be training chest, shoulders, legs, let's not kid ourselves, but legs, like anything else. You do not need a whole day to arms. You need 4 exercises total to grow your arms. Maybe 5 if you're at a push, but you literally do not need that much. So when it comes to frequency, it is super simple. I would recommend switching to push, pull, legs, rest, upper, lower, rest. What this does, it means you're not overtraining it, and it also means that you have enough sleeps in between each training of arms to actually recover. So then when you go back to train arms, your arms are properly recovered. You're not going to be driving yourself backwards, okay? You're going to be going forwards in progress, and it's just going to be so much better, and you're going to get massive arms.
I'm not at all annoyed that I've just realised my microphone hasn't been turned on this whole time, so you've been listening to me through the default microphone. I don't know if you would have noticed. If not, just pretend like I never said anything, but I am so sorry that you've been having to listen to this squeaky chair. Now, I've been having to put up with this chair for 8 years, so you can put up with it for the last 10 minutes, okay? But I do apologise. That's a serious production quality flaw. As you can see, we're working with bare bones stuff, okay? It's the 4th video. I like to think this is pretty good production quality for the 4th ever video. Look, you go to other people's channels, they'll still be figuring out to turn the camera on. Look at me go. I've got a microphone. I'm definitely not boiling alive. Now, the next step is going to be getting air conditioning or some sort of cooler, because making videos in here every single week is going to get painful really fast because I'm literally sweating buckets right now. You are now 1 step away from knowing literally everything you need to know on how to get massive arms. And it's on the other side of this board, and I'm looking at it right now, and I bet you're thinking, this guy is annoying me now. He's getting on my last nerve. I've watched 18 minutes of him. Well, you're going to have to get to 20 to know what this is, because we're going to sit here and stare at this. No, I'm joking. I will show you now. It is nutrition. And before you think, oh, Ben, that's the most basic thing ever, this is actually the most important thing that I need to tell you today. And you're probably thinking, oh, but I know about food, Ben. I eat it every day. Yeah, goddamn right you eat it every day. We can tell, John. I need to stop just calling out random names. It's getting a bit personal now, I apologise. Your nutrition is so important now, not just for when it comes to growing arms, but literally anything. Your recovery, it all depends on your nutrition. It is the most important thing when it comes to literally anything. If you want to put on a single ounce of muscle, your nutrition has to be nailed. Rather than just giving you some sort of diet plan which you need to follow, I'm actually going to explain how you can create your own so you can eat what you want. You don't have to be on some sort of regime to try and get big arms. You can eat what you want if you just know how to form the right nutrients in your diet. And as you can see, I'm still towering over everyone. I had to pin it back up. By the way, I've had this board in my room for a week now while I've been making this video. So you better appreciate this. You're thinking, oh, it's a dingy little thing. Like, I don't have the graphics design skills. You know where they make cool little transitions. You're like nutrients, training, recovery. Nope. We got a good old corkboard. We're gonna start off with fats, right? Now, everyone always likes to avoid fats. They think it's a terrible thing. They think they're gonna put on 25 pounds as soon as they touch a gram of fat. No, you actually need fats so much for your hormones. Fats are responsible, basically, for maintaining good hormone levels. So if you've got bad fat intake, you're literally just your hormones are gonna crash. Now, there are such things as healthy fats and just bad fats. This does not mean you can go to McDonald's and say, oh, Ben said I need to eat fats, let me just get 8 burgers. No, no, no. There are food sources that give you super healthy fats, which I'm gonna go through now. The first one is gonna be almond butter. Almond butter is so good. If you have porridge before your workout, if you're not having porridge before your workout, have it. It is the GOAT. It is a fast digesting carb and it'll make you feel so good in the gym. Whack 30 grams of almond butter, which is a really good source of fat, into it. Your hormones are gonna thank you. It tastes amazing. And overall, it's just a win-win. Now, the next one is avocados. I like to steer clear of avocados. Just look at that thing. It's a little creepy specimen. They just freak me out a bit. They're a bit too creamy for my liking, and that's saying something, because normally I'll do anything to get something creamy. But if you love avocados, then it is a great source of fats for you. Now, you can also get healthy fats from things like chicken thighs. I like eating chicken breasts because they're lower in calories, but chicken thighs do have a lot of healthy fats in them. And then just things like nuts, really. Now, finally, I don't personally eat chocolate because for some reason I've just not eaten it for the last 5 years. Because if you don't know, a little bit of a law drop here, I became a seriously big boy, age 13, and it was basically solely from eating chocolate and sweets. I would literally just eat like 3,000 calories worth of them a day. It was bad. And then I just eat nothing on top of it. So I had to cut them out about 5 years ago. So I don't eat chocolate or sweets anymore. But if you like chocolate, I got good news for you. Dark chocolate is such a good source of healthy fats, and I remember it tasted disgusting. I remember being 13, if someone tried to offer me that, I'd spit in their face. You can melt it into your porridge, your cream of rice, or you can just eat it raw dog. Just get like 20, 30 grams of dark chocolate, eat it. Great source of fat, will help keep your hormones good, and will help your recovery so you can grow massive arms. Now, moving on, carbs. Again, there is a lot of myths about carbs where people are like, oh, they're so bad for you, they make you fat. No, they don't. Carbs are your main energy source. You get every bit of energy
from carbs. Before I made this video, I ate food. It had carbs in it. I've got more energy. If I made this video when I just got out of bed straight away, I would be some sort of zombie on the camera. To be fair, getting bored alive is sort of doing that to me. I'm starting to tweak out a bit. But you need carbs in your diet. When I was bulking, I was eating 700 grams of carbs a day, right? 700. In your diet, you want anywhere between 50 and 100 grams of fats, 200 grams of protein, and then the rest should be made up of carbs. Now, there are good and bad sources of carbs. I would always, I'm actually so hot, oh my God. I would always opt for a cleaner source of carbs. For example, like potatoes, oats, sweet potato, rice, pasta, sourdough, bagels sort of count. Plain pita breads are pretty good. And there are so many more that I can't just list off the top of my head because I do not have the cognitive ability to do so. Now, you can have bad forms of carbs, such as pancakes, stuff like that. But I would only implement these into your diet if you're late into a bulk. For example, right, my last bulk, I got to 5,100 calories a day. 5,100. When I got to like 4,000 calories, I started implementing like Rice Krispies bars, pancakes, jam, crumpets, just because it got so hard to eat clean carbs. I was like, I can't eat more rice, I can't eat more porridge. So at that point in your bulk, when you need energy and you need to increase your food, then sure, you can add more carbs that are a bit of a dirtier source, but they're just way easier to get down you because they actually taste good. So carbs, literally so important in your diet. And then finally, we've got protein. Now, this is probably the one you're most familiar with, but you want to be getting anywhere between 180 and 250 grams of protein. I opt for a much higher protein diet. I'm at around like 220 grams. A lot of people will say like eat like 1.5 times your body weight in kilos in protein, but that ends up being like 150 for me, and that's just way too little. The good thing about protein is chicken, beef mince, all of these things are super satiating. Protein in general is super satiating, which basically means it's going to make you less hungry. I think I can ditch the board now. I think you've got the point. What satiating foods do is they basically make you feel way more full. So if you're on a cut, you always want to keep your protein high. Your protein should stay the same throughout the year. When you're cutting or bulking, I say you're reducing food, you've just started cutting from a bulk, you always want to get rid of carbs. You immediately want to get rid of carbs. Whenever you lower food, you lower your carbs. You do not lower your protein at any point. Protein is responsible for keeping all of your muscles. So when you're cutting, you need to be hitting high protein, otherwise you're going to lose your muscle. Now with protein, I would always say try and get as much protein. What the hell is this? Well, I guess the next YouTube video writes itself. My journey to transitioning to a woman. I went to the gym to get pecs. Why have I got cleavage? I'm actually looking kind of good though. Look at the way they hang. As possible in through meats, right? Fish, chicken, beef mince, lean beef mince, like 5 to 10%. Just stuff like that. It is just better for you in general, better for your digestive system. But if you struggle with getting your protein in, like I do, protein powder is your best friend. Now I'm gonna say My Protein. I don't have your bags right now. Get your protein from My Protein. Where's code Ben10, My Protein? Where is it? Huh? Where is it? Sorry, I'm starting to skits out a bit. The heat is really getting to me now. We need to wrap this up ASAP. And with your protein, you wanna be getting anywhere between 30 to 60 grams of protein per meal. Anything above 60 grams of protein in a meal, you're not really gonna be able to digest all the protein properly, and you're not gonna get the benefits out of it that you need for muscle growth. So I'd say anywhere between 40 to 60 is where my kind of meals with protein range. And that is literally everything to do with nutrition that you need to know. So let's go over that again, just a little quick recap. Fats, great for hormones. You need good fats to keep your hormones at a good level. Carbs, you need them for energy. You go to the gym, you should be having your carbs, by the way, before and after your workout. The majority of your carbs, especially if you're cutting, before and after your workout. Obviously when you're bulking, you have them everywhere, but you should stack your carbs before and after, because after your workout helps replenish the glycogen in your muscles so your recovery process can start faster. And before your workout, it is a quick digesting carb, such as just oats. Get in your system, it will give you energy, it will keep you through to the end of your sessions. I can have 3-hour sessions during my bulk just because of the amount of carbs that I have in me. And protein, responsible for muscle growth and muscle maintenance. So when you're cutting, keep your protein high. When you're bulking, keep your protein high. I'd say around 200 grams of protein is a completely safe and correct estimate for all of you, unless you're 100 kilos and you look 2 times as big as me, in which case, get in contact because I need tips as well, okay? But we have now officially gone over all 4 stages of everything you need to do to get massive arms. If you do all of these and you recover correctly, let's do a quick rules section on recovery. Sleep well, keep well hydrated, proper nutrients. You do all these things, you will recover completely fine for your next session and you will become massive. I want to say quickly, thank you so much to anyone who's made it this far in the video. I find it crazy that people will watch me on their TV. I always get sent screenshots of people on me on my TV. And I always just think, never in a million years would I ever have thought I would see myself on that many pixels on a screen, but I am not complaining. I honestly appreciate you all so much. We're so close to 1K subs. So if you could subscribe, it would honestly be appreciated so much. I'll wait, okay? Look, you got time. Don't worry, you're not missing anything going and pressing that button. You go, girl. The fact that we're already nearly at 1,000 subs and I've only posted 3 videos is honestly mental to me, and I appreciate you all so much for watching. I love making these videos. If you have anything you want to see, I've got a few ideas which I'm going to cook up and they're going to be amazing coming soon. But if you have any ideas you want to see me do or anything you want to see me do, I'm literally down to do anything. Hold the phone. Not like that. Down to do anything legal and will not get me arrested. Then just let me know in the comments down below and I'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, send me a screenshot on Instagram Instagram just so I can say thank you personally. I love you all and I will catch you in the next video. Dun, 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 dun. I really need to stop doing this outro thing. I need to come and press off every single time. Right, I'll see you in the next one.